on this. There we go. Right, a very warm welcome to you. It's round about 8:30 here in the UK, and we're going to look at the 8 hands that you've played here tonight, or some of you will have played tonight. They're hand set 4 on safety plays, and I don't know, I say it every week, but let's just tell you what we think a safety play is. It's a play that gives you the best chance of making the tricks that you need, probably at the expense of possible over tricks. Right, I'm going to mute all the people on Zoom. Okay, we have Jeff with us, Jeff Simpson. We did have Alan with us. He may be listening, but he won't be taking part for a moment. He may come back later. But Jeff Simpson, one of my friends from the Scottish area, I have a great amount of respect for, so we invite him to give his opinions when he thinks they're relevant. Okay, hand 1 is on your screen, and no opposition. Oh yes, there is opposition bidding. North opens a club. Let's give you the auction then. 1 club from North, followed by 2 passes. East venture, West ventures a double. 1 diamond from East. Doesn't have an awful lot of points. 1 heart. And usually when you double and then bid a suit, you ought to have a pretty strong hand. Pass. 2 hearts. Now from, I have got a little something partner. And 4 hearts. Ends the auction. Okay, and the lead, we are told, is the ace of clubs. Followed by a 2nd club. No real reason for North to switch. He doesn't mind West roughing in the long hand. West does. Right, and what have we got? Well, we've got these luscious diamonds. We've got 5 diamond tricks. We've got at least 1 spade trick is 6. And we've got 4 heart tricks unless they break badly. What if so we've got plenty of tricks unless the hearts break badly, in which case they may stop us enjoying all these diamonds. So we can cash 1 top heart. Let's make sure they're not 5-0. And first of all, we're going to see what happens if we play a 2nd top heart. We get the bad news. Okay, now if we play another top heart and then tackle the diamonds, then we're going to lose communication with dummy. On the other hand, if we don't touch the hearts again, let's say that we play the diamond, another diamond, third diamond, South roughs it, and it doesn't make any difference whether West over roughs or not. If he doesn't, South is going to switch to a spade, and if he does, or a trump for that matter, and West is going to have to lead the spades away from his hand. I did notice at one table where West did not try the queen. It looks fairly automatic here to rough with the jack and to lead the jack of spades now. but didn't make any difference. Leading the jack, but in fact he declared that one of the hands I watched, they led a small one, and dummies 10-1, and then declarers got the rest of the tricks. But so on that line of play, it's going to go off. Let's just put the hand back up to the table. We can. That's going to be 4 hearts by West. Let's see what West could actually have done about it. So we get club leads just the same. Third club. Declare ruffs. Now he should realise now that the only danger is a 4-1 heartbreak. He's going to cash one top heart. And we've already seen what will happen if he cashes a second one, but what if he plays a little one? Now, if the opposition play a spade through him, he'll go up with the ace, draw the outstanding trumps, and enjoy all those luscious diamonds. And if the opposition play a club, there is still a trump in dummy to take care of the clubs. So to protect against that 4-1 break, it matters not now what South leads. If he leads a club, we will ruff that in dummy and play a spade to hand and draw the trumps, and then we'll enjoy all the diamonds. If they play a diamond, we'll win with the ace, draw the trumps, and we'll discard our spade losers on the diamonds. And if they play a spade, we'll go up with the ace and draw the trumps, and we'll still enjoy the diamonds. So what we did, we sacrificed a heart trick that we may not needed to have lost at all. If the hearts are 3-2, we've given away a trick that we didn't need to. But that's the essence, I keep repeating this, of the safety plays. You're giving up the possible over tricks in the interests of giving yourself the best chance of making the tricks that you need. And here, the only thing that can hurt us is a 4-1 break, so we guard against it by giving them a heart. Right, so they've possibly made a heart that they didn't expect to make, but we have made our 10 tricks. That is the crux of the matter, and we'll claim our 10 tricks. There we go. I'll try zooming. I'll try muting people again. There we go. Right, okay. Okay, do we have any questions or comments on board one? And please, if you have any questions, put them to the table so that we can all see what the questions or comments are. And I'll do my best to answer them, and Jeff will probably offer his opinions as well. Okay. Nobody want to ask anything on board one? Then we will move on to board two, he says. Board two. If you draw 2 trumps first, then you're going to go off, Glynis. As I saw as I went through the play. Then it's too late for you to recover. If you're going to duck a trump, you have to do it or to leave a trump in dummy. To look after the clubs, and 1 trump is not enough. If you play 2 trumps and find the bad break, then the opposition can always defeat you. Board 2, and again we have a contested auction. East starts off with 1 club. South pits a spade. Who wouldn't? West bids 3 clubs. I think that's got to be sort of preemptive more than constructive. Most people would bid 2 spades to show a good raise to 3 clubs. But East fancies his hand and bids 5 clubs. And the lead is the ace of spades. I don't know what I would continue with as south. I wouldn't play a club. I don't want to play a heart. I don't really want to play a spade. Make it easy for declarer to get his spade ruffs. I would probably play a diamond and hope that the partner's got a diamond on a maybe, but it's unlikely to cost playing a diamond. Okay, so declarer is going to win that. And naturally enough, ruffs a spade. Now, let's see what happens. If we adopt the normal line of playing for the clubs to be 3-2 and taking a top club, let's see what happens. Ruff another spade. Now we get the bad news. No, we can't do it. If we play diamonds, South will ruff the third one and continue with spades, and you'll still have to lose a heart. Let's see what happens. So, does it help us to play the king of clubs? Don't really think so, but certainly can't play another club because South will win and cash 2 spades. So now we'll switch to diamonds. Ruffs. Continues with spades. East could ruff the next spade, but he's still going to lose the king of hearts, and that's going to be 1 down. Well, as we did, save it as it is. Yes, I have done Sanya. Yeah. Okay. And now let's put it to the table again. This time we'll just bid 5 clubs. And this is so similar to board 1 in terms of its solution. Ace of spades. Which are a diamond, just the same. Sorry. Undo, doesn't matter. We would play the 9, wouldn't we? Ruff a spade. Now, if we think about what we've just seen in the as I played it through, the only thing that can hurt us is the trumps breaking 4-1. But we can cope with that by doing exactly what we did in hand one. We'll give them the club now while we can still ruff a spade in dummy. So doesn't matter who takes it. Let's North keep it and switch to a heart, say. With the ace. Now we'll ruff another spade. Now we can draw all the trumps and the diamonds are still there. We're going to play 4 more tricks. And we finish up with the 11 tricks that we said we were going to make. So it's simply a matter of working out what's going to happen if they do break 4-1. If they do break 4-1, we run out. We run out of steam effectively. The opposition take control, and we finish up because we don't have the entry to the diamonds there. He's going to ruff the 3rd diamond, and we never do it. Yeah. Any questions or comments, please? Yeah, do ask them away. Okay, we will move on to board 3. How many got that one right, Sammy? Or don't we know?
Isn't always easy, Colin, to think of safety players at the table. I know you've said tonight it is safety players, but maybe when you see a solid side suit that's going to run, that might make players think more about they can afford to give up a trick.
Exactly, Jeff. Yes, good point. Thank you. Yes, I mean, we you know, they all look so easy, don't they? We'll just draw the trumps and we can cash all these diamonds, except that you can't draw all the trumps if they break badly. And really, you should be saying to yourself, if they break badly, can I do anything about it? And the answer is yes, you can, if you stop and think about it. Yeah.
Maybe alarm bells should ring when the 10 of clubs was played, for instance.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Right, board 3. This is there's no opposition bidding. North opens 2 no trumps. South asks and is told that North has got 5, so they finish in 4 spades. So North is going to play this in 4 spades. No opposition bidding. Now, I saw some of the play from one of the players that that was helped a little bit by the defence, I thought. But he finished up with 10 tricks, so I can't knock success. But let's have a look. So we get the lead of the Queen of Hearts. That doesn't help us in the slightest. Okay. May not be obvious to West whether he can afford the 10 or not. His partner ought to have the Jack, but not necessarily the 9. So he'll hang on to the 10. Right, let's count our tricks. We've got 5 spade tricks and 2 heart tricks is 7, and 2 diamond tricks is 9. Right, well, we could hope that the King of Clubs is well placed, that the Ace of Clubs is with West. So by leading a club from dummy, that would give us our 10th trick. Or we could try to ruff a club in dummy. Right, but one thing we can't do is combine both of them, because that seems to be a possibility. Cross to dummy, play a club, and if that doesn't work, then we'll try to ruff a club in dummy. If we try to do that, let's see what happens. Spades are good enough to do that. Is East going to play? He's going to play a spade. Now when we play a second club, West is going to win because he's the one that's got another spade. And he's going to knock out Dummy's remaining spade. And we can't make enough tricks anymore. We've got 4 tricks as declarer. 2 spades is 6, the ace of diamonds is 7, and the ace king of diamonds is 9. But that is all. So at this point in time, we are going to go 1 off. So crossing to dummy to play a club towards the king is not going to work if the ace of clubs is wrong. Well, plan B was, let's just get yourself back to north and we'll bid 4 spades. Hearts again. Here's the point. We can afford to lose 2 clubs as long as we get our ruff. So we don't need to make the king of clubs because we'll be a step ahead of the race. We'll play a club, they can play a spade, we'll play another club, they'll play another spade, and now they can't stop us ruffing a club. And that will be our 10th trick. So we don't use up one of dummy's trumps that we're going to need to ruff a club with to cross to dummy to try the club. We're simply going to lead the clubs from our hand. So we're not touching trumps. Comes a trump, fairly obvious thing to do. Obvious what declarer is trying to do. Now another club. We'll try the king, of course. And they try another trump. Now we can cross back to hand with the diamond. Ruff a club with that remaining trump in dummy. Doesn't matter now whether we play a heart or a diamond. Well, let's play a diamond. It's a little safer than playing a heart. For the outstanding trump, and we'll give them a diamond at the end. So we didn't need to cross to dummy to play a club towards the king. We're going to win the next club in dummy, the next spade in dummy anyway. Then we can play a club towards the king, but they can't stop us getting the ruff. That's the thing. Board 2, just 2 tables made. Alec was one of them. Congrats. And board 1 was only made by Joe at 45. Applause. Yes, well done. Well done. Okay. Board 3, 3 out of 6. And Redbird Terry made 11. Oh, well done. Well done. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments on board 3? You're a quiet bunch tonight, aren't you? Nobody want to ask anything or suggest anything. Okay, we'll move on to board 4. Again, we have a competitive auction. West opens 1 club. North doubles. East passes. Yes, I would too. South bids 1 spade. You've made me bid something, partner. Pass. Well, 4 spades looks a reasonable spot. and pass. And we get the lead of a top club. Okay. And the lead we were specified as playing another top club. Well, we can rough that one in, dummy. Right. Now, well, spade finesse might be right. But if we cross to dummy, cross to hand with the only entry that we have, Queen of Diamonds, and take the spade finesse, even if it wins, we're going to be stuck in dummy. We can possibly win the fourth round of spades in our hand if they're breaking. But then we can only take the heart finesse once. So that means we could only play for West having both the king and the queen of hearts. Not so much of a chance. We would much prefer to be able to take the heart finesse twice, to play for split honours in heart, because that's far more likely to be successful. You know, when all said and done, West did open the auction, so he's going to have at least one of the heart honours, we think. We don't know about Queen of Spades. Right. But how on earth can we generate two entries to our hand to take advantage of the heart situation? Well, we can see if the tell us. Well, the Queen of Diamonds is going to be one entry, but here's a possibility. Maybe if we lead, well, no point in leading a 5 of spades towards the 10, because if we do that, East can jump up with the Queen and we'd still be locked in dummy. We can't, but what we can do is lead the Jack of Spades. I'll come back to this point in a moment. We've got at least one player roughed that second club with the Ace of Spades because they could see this entry position. All right. But now we have, although the spades are broken badly, we have two entries to the south hand. What's West going? What's East going to do? Well, he's going to play another club probably. We mustn't fall into the trap of roughing it low, because now we've only got one entry again. So we need to rough that high. And now we can come back to hand with a spade. Take the heart finesse first time. Going to lose. Back is going to come the last club. Pretty much burning our boats now. We're going to throw the diamond from dummy. No, we're not. Sorry. Undo. We're going to throw a heart from dummy. There we go. We've got the diamond tricks. And if he plays a diamond, we'd have won it. We've got the rest of the tricks. And if he'd have played a diamond, we would have won it in hand and taken the heart finesse just the same. As I said, one player roughed the second club with the Ace of Spades, and then played the king or a small one towards hand, and he was sure of getting an entry to his hand even if he lost to the Queen. So that worked just as well, because now he's got two entries and he can take the heart finesse twice, playing for split honours. So well done to those that made table 4. Do we have any questions or comments on board 4? Well, it's reasonable to suppose that West has got at least one of the honours, Josie, because he's opened the bidding. And all we've seen from him so far is the Ace, King, Queen of clubs. Yeah. So it's reasonable to expect him to have at least one of the heart honours, yes. The secret was to create a second entry in the south hand so that you can, yes, we love the comments. We love the comments. We haven't always got an answer, but we still love the comments.
A lot of your hands, Colin, are contested auctions, and that's something else that players should remember. When somebody else speaks, an opponent, you've got to remember that in the back of your mind, that that's where there's some value.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Yes. Bobby's asking me if I can review. Well, we'll put the hand up again, Bob. There we go. And South is going to play this in four spades, so we'll just move it round to South. Somewhat surprising. Now we were told that the leader's two top clubs. We will remember that we actually West opened the bidding. Now, in order for us to take advantage of the Jack 10 of hearts, we would like to lead the hearts twice from the south hand. But at the moment, we only have one clear entry to the south hand, that's the Queen of Diamonds. So we can only finesse in hearts once. And if that was all we could do, we would have to hope that West had got the King and the Queen to three, and we can place them all towards it. And if he plays one, he's only going to make one of them. Right, but we'd much rather play for split honours, and that means that we need to lead towards the hearts twice. So what we're going to do, in the interest of being able to do that, we're going to concede a trick to the Queen of Spades. We may be giving it away unnecessarily. We're going to cash one top spade. Now we're going to lead the Jack. And East can't afford to duck it because then his Queen will fall under the King. But when he takes it, now South has the two entries that he was looking for. Play the hearts. And he has to be careful. East is going to play another club. And if we carelessly rough this with the 5, then we've no longer got the spade entry again. So we need to rough it high. Now we can come back to hand of the spade. That's our first entry. We're going to play a heart. Loses. Now, in fact, if East plays his club, then we're going to rough that, and that will be a second entry. But let's say he plays a diamond instead. So we win that with the Queen. And now we'll play another heart. This time the finesse is successful, and we can claim the rest of the tricks. There we go. You're very welcome, Bob. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 4? Okay, board 5 coming up, he says. This is going to be played by North. The auction is going to go 1 no trump, 3 no trumps. So North is going to play this in 3 no trumps. And we get the lead of the 5 of diamonds. Okay, well, natural to let this come round the hand. Now, let's imagine that North does the fairly automatic thing. He plays a diamond. And he might play a club. He might cross to dummy with the spade and lead a club off the table. That would give the defence more scope to go wrong. Let's imagine that we play a spade. Because now West has got to be pretty careful. He's got to say to himself, if my partner's got a club empty, he's the one with the diamonds. So I've got to jump up with the king. If he doesn't do that, and Declarer will set up his tricks, East having the lead, he couldn't play another diamond. As long as West jumps in with that king, his contract is now going to go down because East has still got the ace of clubs. I'm going to go back a couple of tricks. Yeah, these little yellow blocks. Instead of crossing to dummy with a spade, the yellow blocks to disappear again. Here we go. Win Jack of diamonds. Now we play a club. It's fairly automatic for West to win and play a diamond through, and the result is going to be the same. But we can think about this a little bit more. That's going to be one off. Let's go back. Right, let's stop there. It's fairly obvious that the King of Diamonds is with East. But if we have to lose a club to West, as we will, and then a diamond through our now Queen 7 or Jack 7, that's going to set up the diamonds before we can get rid of the second club. But we need 2 diamond tricks, but we don't need this particular diamond trick. So instead of jumping on this with the 7, we can always take the diamond finesse. We know where the king is now. Let's see what happens if we let him keep it. Right, plays another diamond. Won't help him to play anything else. And now see the difference. We play a club. If West takes it, he doesn't have a diamond to play. And if East takes it, he can set up his diamonds, but then he'll have no entry to get to them. So all we needed to do to ensure this contract was to not take the first diamond, to defer the diamond trick. We're still going to make 2 diamond tricks, only in the interest of breaking the communication between the opposition. What's he going to do? Well, he takes it. He doesn't really want to play a heart because that's going to leave himself open to a position. He could play another club, or it's more likely to play a spade. That's not actually going to give Declarer anything he can't do himself. Set these diamonds up. We never know. We might get a trick with the heart. But of course we're not. Declarer has taken 3 tricks. He's got 3 more spade tricks. That's 6. He's got 2 more heart tricks. That's 8. And he's got 2 club tricks. And that's 10. So he's going to claim the rest of the tricks. Board 5, Terry made, well done, Terry. Yeah. And I hope that Terry did it like that. Did it by not taking the first diamond trick. I think that must have been the case, unless the opposition messed up their club entries. But And you all see how essential it was not to take the first diamond. It's fairly automatic. I don't know quite why it's so difficult to see, but it is difficult to see unless you stop and think about it quite hard. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments about board 5?
The 5 of diamonds isn't exactly a high card, so the diamonds could have been 4-3. And if
Yep.
they were, your safety player wouldn't work, Colin, would it? It'd still fail.
They still have an entry, but they wouldn't have enough diamonds to make to cash, would they? They'd get 2 clubs and 2 diamonds.
Ah, that's right, 2 and 2. So we're still okay if they 4-3.
We're still okay if the diamonds are 4-3.
Yeah, very good.
You saw it after you went down, Glynis. Okay. Well, at least you saw it. Well done. Quite a lot of us do that. We appreciate what we've done. There used to be a definition of a bridge technician. And I came across this in a book a long, long time ago. Definition of a bridge technician. A bridge technician is a player that knows exactly what to do 10 seconds after they've done something different. And we've all been in that position, haven't we? We all see, oh, I should have seen that. Yes, you know, we've all done it. We'll all do it again, I'm sure. Okay, any other questions or comments on board 5? Really? Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to board 6. I've been around for a long time in the bridge world. I got a lot of bridge stories. I'll tell you one of my favourite stories in a minute. Okay, but we do board 6, and I'll tell you something that happened way back in the 1970s when I was teaching bridge in London. I'll tell you in a minute. I'll do this board first, and then I'll tell you. Okay, board 6. No opposition bidding. Weak no trump opening, and then Stayman, and they finish up in 4 spades, played by East. So 4 spades, played by East. Here we go. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Yeah. I've known Jeff for an awful long time, since the 1990s, I think. We've been on some holidays together. He and Linda and myself and Amy when she was alive. Okay, 4 spades and we get the lead, and fairly standard lead of the King of Clubs. Oops, no, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, we're going to take the Ace of Clubs. Right. What have we got? Well, we've got all these luscious diamonds again. And we've got 2 heart losers. And we don't have a club loser at the moment. We could ruff. I didn't mean to duck that. What am I doing? Here we go. Take the ace. There we go. Right. What could hurt us? Well, trumps breaking 4-1 could hurt us. If we don't, let's see what happens if we try to ruff these clubs in dummy. Why are we trying to ruff these clubs? We could throw everything away on these diamonds, couldn't we? But, you know, let's say that we did try. We ruffed. Now we play a trump. Ruff another club. See, what we're trying to do, we're trying to make all the tricks. We're trying to throw our hearts away on these diamonds as well. But that's not what we're trying to, that's not what the contract was. Now we play another spade. And oh dear. Now our contract's in tatters. If we go with the ace of spades, South has got 2 spade tricks. And he's going to force us in clubs. And he'll ruff the 3rd round of diamonds. And then they'll play heart. We're going to go down. We're going to go down. Let's let's claim this as, I think it's going to be 2 down, I think, if we do that. So let's claim that, and we'll put it back to the table and try and do it a bit better. And let's have a look. 4 spades by East is going to be the contract. The King of Clubs again. Now we can keep control of the trumps by playing a little spade straight away. Well, now that works. North shows out. A 3rd round of trumps. And of course, what we will do now is to keep playing diamonds until South eventually roughs. But all we're going to lose now is 1 trump and 2 hearts. We'll get to dummy eventually by roughing a club, or we'll cash all these diamonds and throw all our losers away if South refuses to rough. Can we see that? Okay, so here we are. We've played the trumps now. It wouldn't have helped South to jump in with the Queen of Spades, because then we can draw the trumps and enjoy all the diamonds. We're just going to keep playing diamonds until South roughs. Well, let's say he roughs now. The opposition can cash 2 hearts if they wish, but then West will rough and the rest of the diamonds will be good. And we're going to make 10 tricks. It's a matter of guarding against the possibility of there being 4 spades in the south hand. I don't think we can cope with 4 spades in the north hand. If we can't cope with it, then we can't guard against it. We need the spade queen with West. You mean with South? You mean with South? Do you, Ratner? Yes, sorry, South. Yes. Well, we don't mind if the spade queen is with North, if the suit is 3-2. That we can cope with, because then the other 2 will fall under the ace king anyway. But if they're breaking 4-1, then it's South that we're trying to guard against. We don't mind if South, if South has got 10-9-7-4 and North has got the singleton queen, that would be somewhat unlucky, I think. Do we have any other questions on board 6 or comments?
There's a good defensive point to make here, Colin. If declarer goes wrong, when that King of Clubs was led at trick 1 for count, and there's a singleton in dummy, I believe North should play the 9 of clubs, suggesting they've got the ace of hearts.
Yeah. Well, that would. Does he want North to continue with hearts, South to continue with hearts? They'll make their 2 heart tricks. This is true. But you're right, Jeff. It's a fairly standard signalling method. When there is a singleton in dummy and you're playing in a suit contract, you know you're not going to make any more club tricks. So it's a good idea. I've got an interest in the higher ranking suit or the lower ranking suit, whichever it is, and you play high or low accordingly. So here, because North has got values in hearts and not in clubs, not in diamonds rather. He plays a high club. I've got something in hearts, partner. It won't alter the fact the opposition could still only make 2 hearts. If South switches to a heart, I think that probably makes it easier, if anything, for Declarer, because he won't be tempted to ruff a club straight away. Yeah, it's a good point, Jeff. Thank you.
Colin,
That's me.
I think both of the winning players actually played off one top trump before they switched to a spade to the jack,
Right.
which would pick up singleton queen in the north hand.
Right. Will that still work?
Well, picking up singleton queen is, in my book, a good thing.
Oh yes, but if it doesn't pick it up, a second spade is still okay, isn't it?
I think so, because you're
Yes,
jack X, so you still get the force of the heart with the low spade and cross.
Indeed,
back,
yes, I
cross
think you're
back
right.
on thing.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
well, I was. Who's the other? I just standing up for Palak and Malcolm. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Anyway, welcome back to us, Alan. I mean, I was talking to Alan earlier, then he went off to do something. But he's back with us again now. Thank you, Alan. Okay. Any more questions or comments on board 6? Okay, we'll move on to board 7 when I can find it. Here it is. Tell you what, Jeff really let me down on this hand. Really let me down. There's me telling Alan, Jeff will never get this wrong, I said.
Meg on face, make up.
Okay, we'll give you the auction because it is slightly competitive. 1 spade, double from west, 3 spades from north, which is preemptive. And I'm not sure that I would do that with 4 hearts, but nevertheless, this is what we were given. And South can't resist, he'll bid 4 spades. Well, we've got finesses in 3 suits available. We can run the Queen of Spades, or we can finesse against the King of Hearts with East, possibly, or finesse against the King of Diamonds with the East as well. Except that the bidding rather suggests that those finesses, at least in the red suits, are not likely to work. It might work in spades, but let's have a look. We get the lead of the King of Clubs. How many made this one, Sanya? No, Jeff didn't. How many of these finesses are we going to take? Well, the answer is, in fact, none of them. We're not going to take any finesses at all because we don't need them. Provided we can ruff 2 clubs in dummy with low spades, and that doesn't seem unreasonable, then what we're going to do, we're going to use our red aces as entries to ruff the clubs, and then the last club we will ruff with the ace of spades, and then we will charitably offer to the opposition, you can have the 3 kings that are left. Let's see what happens. So we're going to ruff this club. We're going to come back to hand with a red ace, and it doesn't matter which one. We're not going to take any. If we take a finesse, what will happen is that West will win and he'll play a spade. And then all of a sudden we can't be able to do it. Now we're going to ruff another club. West might try to confuse the issue by playing a higher club. Okay, but now a diamond to the ace. Now our last club. Now if we ruff this low, East will win and he'll play a trump back, and now we'll be 1 off again. Okay, but we're not going to ruff it low, we're going to ruff it with the ace of spades. And now we'll play a spade. At this point that we say to the opposition, you can have the king of hearts and the king of diamonds and the king of spades, but I'll have the rest. So we will claim our 10 tricks. Oh dear, what's happened here? Oh. Okay, do we have any other questions or comments on board 7? So we don't take, sorry, somebody just sent me a message, January the 6th, and I think, January the 6th, what on earth is January the 6th? And if we think about January the 6th, January the 6th is the end of Advent, when there were 3 kings about, yes. Okay, very droll, thank you very much. Okay, 3 kings. Yeah. Yeah, you were going to do the same thing, Pat, but you took your eye off the ball. It's easily done. Okay. Do we have any other questions or comments on board 7? The bidding has told us really that the red suit kings are not going to be sixes, and we're not going to pick those up. It's possible that he got the king of spades as well, but it didn't matter. As long as we rough 2 clubs low and rough the 3rd one with the ace, we've got our 10 tricks. Okay, we'll move on to the last board when I can find board 8. Here we go. Board 8. Export to the table. And another competitive auction. Let's have a look at it. So West opens 1 diamond. And this has got interesting play from both sides of the table. Oh. South now jumps in with 4 clubs. The swine, just to make it awkward for you. West is going to double. I've got good values here, partner. And he says, well, I got too many diamonds, I think, to try and penalise 4 clubs. So we'll let you play in 5 diamonds. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Try again. 5 diamonds. There we go. All right. And we get the lead of the 10 of clubs, which South. I know that one South won this with the ace. And this is something that makes me cringe inside, because you was used to, oh, I forgot to tell you the story, didn't I? I'll tell you the story in a minute. One of the things I've always impressed on my students, you win the trick with the lowest card you need to play. If South win the ace, as North, I would think Declarer's got the king. That's what I would think, until partner plays the king next. And I think, oh, crikey, why did you do that? You've just made me think about it in a totally different way. So here, South should not win with the ace, especially if he's not going to play another one, because it'll make North think that some of Declarer's values are in clubs, at least the king. So unless you've got a particular deceptive move in mind, you're deliberately trying to deceive Declarer as well as your partner, and win the trick with the lowest card you need to play. The lowest card you need to play here is the queen, not the ace, not the king. If you play the king, you've denied having the queen. If you play the ace, you've denied having the king. And here you've got all 3 of them. But if you win with the queen, well, and Declarer follows, Your partner knows now that you've got the king and the ace. No ambiguity. He knows it for sure. All right. Now the instructions said that we carried on with the second club. Well, first of all, we're going to see what happens if we rough this in dummy. Right, just imagine that we rough it in dummy. And we start to draw the trumps, because if the trumps are 2-2, it's going to be really easy. Because we can use that 5 of diamonds as an entry to dummy. Well, but not a 3-1. Well, defense can still go wrong, because we can try cashing 2 hearts. I was watching one table when the play went like this, and South simply couldn't resist. But if he roughs, well, if he leads a spade, that will go round to the queen. And if he leads a club, declarer will rough that in hand with a high trump and cross the dummy with the 5 of clubs to this 5 of diamonds to the 6 of diamonds and throw his spade losers away on the heart. But if South doesn't rough that trick, declarer has no resource. The best he can do is to draw the trump and hope that the queen of spades is where he wants it. But of course it isn't. And he'll go off. But that's the best that he can do. Draw the trump. This is if South does not rough that king of hearts. Now the ace of spades. Pretty much before. All declarer now is going to make his well, he can make a spade because the spade's a 3-3, but he can rough this one. Play a spade, which North will win. But he's one off. So we claim that as one off. And then we'll reload the board. Reload the board to the table and see what we could have done about it. So West is going to be in 5 diamonds. Let's just put up 5 diamonds. Lead. Club. Now, if we stop and think about what we've just worked out by looking at the play, we can save all that by not roughing this second club. We throw a spade instead. Now, a third club, we can rough in hand. And we can cash 3 rounds of trumps and get to dummy with the 6 of diamonds after we've cashed the ace king of hearts. And if South switches to hearts, well, same thing. We'll draw 3 rounds of trumps and then we'll cash the ace king of hearts. And if he switches to a spade, well, we could let it run to the queen, but we don't need to. By not roughing that club, we keep that 6 of diamonds. Importantly, we've got 4 diamonds to the 6. We can cope as long as the diamonds aren't 4-0. So let's say South switches to a heart, which is probably as good as anything. Won't want to switch to a And we can draw all the trumps. The last trump drawn. Get King of Hearts out of the way. All that remains is for each across to dummy. That's 6 of diamonds. Throw our 3 spade losers away on the 3 top hearts. So roughing the second club in dummy is not fatal if you can persuade South to rough the ace, the second heart when it's played. But if he doesn't, then you'll go down. But if you can see that possibility coming up, then you don't rough it in dummy. You don't need to. You can afford to lose 2 clubs, provided you don't lose anything else. And all your spade losers can disappear on hearts, as long as you can get to dummy. That's what it boils down to. Do we have any questions or comments on board 8?
I'd add a few words, Colin.
Go on,
I totally. Well, the hand is actually interesting to defend, because after your 4 club bid, West manages this double. So West has to be pretty strong to go and come in with a double. When you win the first club and there's a singleton, and it looks like Declare's roughing there, the instinct should be to switch to spades, and it should be this double that stops you.
Yes, I follow what you mean, because now it's very likely to be
the ace of spades are there. But then in that case, how on earth are you setting this contract? And the only way you can set it is if you can stop Declare somehow or other cashing those hearts.
Yeah.
Now that's the whole point of continuing with the club, to take out a diamond entry. Now, if actually people had it, because we made you go and play a club, so everybody who then later went and roughed the heart, the ace king heart when it was played, is not thinking about what you're trying to achieve by playing the queen of clubs, then the ace of clubs. They're just sort of, I can win a trick. I'll think about what to do when I've won the next trick. But I say, you should have thought of trick 1 about, should I play the king? And well, you're told not to. You're warned off, actually, that West has the ace of spades. So what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
And you're trying to keep the entries out of dummy, but no, let's put them right back again. So I really feel that roughing is just not paying attention to why we're trying to, how we're trying to set this contract.
Indeed, it's an example of what I call playing from trick to trick. As declarer, you should be making a comprehensive plan. These are the tricks I'm intending to try and make. And then you carry out that plan until something happens that makes you need to change it. All right. What you don't do, you don't say, well, I'll play 2 rounds of clubs and then I'll think about it again, and then I'll play around it. Or maybe I'll play a spade to the king. Or maybe I'll take the diamond flush. They go from trick to trick without a positive plan as to what they're going to do, next, if you see what I mean. You should make a plan. These are the tricks I'm trying to make. And then you carry out that plan until something happens. Somebody shows out on the second round of trumps. Oh, that's a blow. But if you're a good declarer, you'll have thought about that in advance. What am I going to do if the trumps break 4-1? And that's what makes the big difference between the people that can really play this game well, like Alan and Jeff and so on, and the people that can't. And those people that can't at the moment, they can if they put their mind to it. But they've got to work at it. Okay. What was the plan here? Well, the plan here was to try and get to the diamond, try to get to the hearts. And the only entry that was sure to get to the hearts was the 6 of diamonds, Bob. That's why we didn't rough the second club. And as Alan pointed out, that was why South was trying to make you rough the second club, to try and take those entries to the heart.
South plan was to try and take the entries out by getting East to go and rough a club early and then not be able to get to those wonderful hearts. And West plan is to make sure he does keep the entries.
Yeah.
So he's got some way back. And it's all about, can I reach the hearts too? But I say, to actually take out the entry, you rough the second, and then to actually give the entry back by roughing a heart, just says you're not really, you're just, as Colin says, playing trick to trick. Sort of, oh, I can't resist this wonderful glistening.
They've given me a trick. He hasn't realised I've still got the.
No, he's so careless on them.
Yeah, most declarers aren't that careless. If they left you with a trumpet, saying most declarers will know you've still got that trump left. Most of them will, not everybody, but most of them. Right, do we have any more questions or comments on any of the hands that we have tonight? Some of you may have been surprised that I'm here tonight because I was here last week. The thing is that I'm not available next Monday, so I've swapped with Alan. Alan will be back next Monday with, I believe, some more squeeze hands, and I will be back the Monday after that with the last set of these safety play sets. That we've got one more set of these to come. I hope you've enjoyed them. No more comments. No to play. How to realise the hand to play set? Well, you only interested in over tricks, Mikiko, if you're playing for match points. It's a totally different game. Quite often, you will need to take a risk when you're playing for match points to make an over trick. You'll look at the hand and you'll say, well, everyone's going to make 9 tricks. To get a good score, I've got to make 10. But if I take this finesse and it loses, I'll go down. And now it depends how confident you are that it's going to work. If you think, sort of 3 times out of 4, the finesse is going to work, it's worth taking, because 3 times out of 4, you'll be on top. Just once in a while, you'll get a bad score. But yeah. Master points is not bad bridge, it's different bridge, Bob. Some people like teams, imps, the sort of hands that we've been showing you. Some people have their element when they're playing for match points. So it's a different game, and you have a totally different mentality. When you're playing for imps or teams, these sort of hands that we've been playing, you'll concentrate, I'm making the contract or I'm taking a contract off. That's your aim. Not by how many or how many over tricks. When you're playing match points, now first thing you look at, am I in a popular contract? Is everybody going to be in the same contract as me? If it is, I'm going to have to play it better than them. If I'm in a contract that nobody else is going to be in, my God, I've got to make it. So it's a totally different game. It really is.
There are a few times you don't bother with over tricks. Normally when you bid a slam at match points, because it's quite rare to bid a slam and not get a great score, providing you make it.
Quite right. Yes, if you're in a slam, making the slam will be good enough. You don't need to worry about over tricks when you're in a slam. Okay, you're very welcome, Sanya, and everybody else. I hope you've enjoyed these hands. I think they're interesting hands. They have a lot of talking points about them, some of them. And thank you, Alan, and thank you, Jeff, for your input as well. I'll give you a minute for the table if you want to save the hands.